A major speculation is once again shaking the global BTS fan community. In recent days, an intense wave of discussion has emerged across various social media platforms, questioning one very sensitive yet emotionally stirring issue. Are Jungkook and Taehyung still connected, even if they're no longer seen together publicly? This question is no longer just about fanship or nostalgia. It has transformed into a serious debate testing our ability to distinguish between real signs and mass perception. Constructs. What triggered this new wave of speculation? It all began with the appearance of a number of short clips recorded and reposted on TikTok and Twitter, where fans observed small details they believed to be hidden codes between Jungkook and Taehyung. From the song choices used in live broadcasts, similar fashion styles, to the use of certain filters or emojis believed to carry hidden meaning. There were no verbal statements from either artist, yet it is precisely within this silence that thousands of interpretations emerged. One of the highlights that sparked heated discussion was a moment where Jungkook indirectly spoke about a memory he never forgot during a broadcast. Though the sentence sounded general, many fans immediately linked it to BTS's early days and his closeness with Taehyung. On the other hand, in his last post before his military service, Taehyung included a short quote in English. "Even if you don't see me, I'm still where you left me." An emotionally charged line that sparked interpretations of something unresolved between the two. But in the midst of this sea of speculation, a bigger question must be asked. Do these signs truly point to an active connection, or are they merely overinterpretations fueled by longing and emotional bias? It must be acknowledged that the BTS fandom, particularly vkook fans, has a long history of building narratives based on symbolism. Every fleeting glance, short reaction, or ambiguous phrase often becomes fuel to form belief in a hidden relationship. This phenomenon cannot be separated from the psychological dynamics in global fandom culture. In the context of long public separation, due to solo projects, diverging career paths, and now military service, the longing for their old closeness easily triggers a tendency to read deeper than what appears. Thus, when a visual fragment or a seemingly personal word appears, the public instantly connects it to a narrative they've long constructed themselves. Strangely, it is the lack of confirmation from the parties involved that allows this narrative to thrive. Most supporters of the vkook connection theory argue that the silence of the two idols only strengthens the belief that something is being deliberately withheld. Is this a deliberate silent strategy? Is silence itself a form of communication? These are the questions that sustain this rumor's life force and open space for even wider interpretations. But as information consumers, we are obliged to ask again, is this all fact or a collective illusion crafted by social media algorithms and fans' emotional needs? In a situation where a theory is driven more by engagement than by data validity, the boundary between truth and perception becomes blurred. Some content creators even actively compile these clues and link them into grand vkook reunion theories. Even though no actual evidence has ever surfaced, we must also ask more deeply. How significant is the role of social media in strengthening this narrative? When emotional content receives wider reach, it's very likely that rumors like this continue to grow simply because the algorithm favors them, not because of any objective truth behind them. A very rational doubt then arises. Are fans truly seeing facts, or just choosing to believe what they want to believe? It's undeniable that the relationship between Jungkook and Taehyung has left a deep emotional mark in BTS history. But in the current context, where both are focused on their individual paths, it's important to refrain from crafting narratives without concrete evidence, especially when many claims are based on content snippets that can easily be manipulated, edited, or understood with bias. We want to emphasize that all the information presented in this article comes from open sources, such as TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and fan community forums that have not been directly verified. Therefore, we encourage readers to maintain a critical distance from all information, especially those of emotional and speculative nature. Truth cannot be shaped by the volume of the majority voice. It must be sought through logical and measurable processes. The question ultimately returns to you as a reader. Do you believe that Jungkook and Taehyung are still connected, or is this all just an echo from an unfinished past? Do the symbols fans associate with them truly show a hidden connection, Or are they simply illusions built from collective longing? And most importantly, how far are we capable of staying objective in the midst of the overwhelming flow of emotional and speculative information? Because in a world filled with narratives, believing is not a mistake, but being blind to logic is a weakness. So remain vigilant. Think critically and never stop questioning what is truly happening behind the scenes of idol life. Continuing the discussion we previously presented, now is the time to position ourselves not only as consumers of information, but also as rational and responsible evaluators. In the flood of viral information, this fundamental question deserves to be raised again. Is the so-called secret connection between Jungkook and Taehyung a reality based on strong evidence, or merely a narrative fabrication built to meet collective emotional expectations? We cannot close our eyes to the fact that such narratives hold extraordinary appeal, especially for fans who have followed them for years. But emotional interest alone is not reason enough to accept all information as truth. On the contrary, this is where the importance of nurturing healthy skepticism lies. Is it possible we are being manipulated by the illusion of a no longer real connection, wrapped in the form of hidden codes that, in essence, never had factual grounding? Every viral video clip, every ambiguous quote, every emoji hyper interpreted, are these truly signals of hidden communication, or just fuel for digital algorithms hungry for emotional engagement? When a piece of content goes viral for allegedly proving the connection of two public figures, are we truly discovering the truth, or merely getting swept away in a tide of mass cognitive bias? Furthermore, we need to consider the possibility that this narrative did not grow purely organically, but also functions as an opinion production tool within a highly competitive digital space. Many social media channels, both fan-run and those with traffic motives, knowingly amplify such issues for one main goal: clicks, attention, and monetization. So, is the supposed connection really coming from Jungkook and Taehyung themselves? Or is it an editorial construct by third parties who know exactly how to capture attention? If we look more deeply, there isn't a single piece of high-integrity journalistic evidence confirming any secret project, hidden message, or active communication between them. What's happening instead is repetition and reinterpretation of old content, repackaged with a new perspective, then re-viralized under the label of shocking discovery. This is a common practice in the viral content cycle and unfortunately often blurs the line between fact and speculation. At this point, we must ask honestly, are we being chased by the truth? Or are we chasing emotional comfort disguised as collective hoax? Do we believe in the connection because there's objective evidence, or because the community we're in has shaped an opinion we feel uneasy doubting? And more importantly, do the media spreading this narrative truly hold ethical responsibility in delivering the truth, or are they merely playing the game of sensationalism for engagement? This is the moment for us as an audience to sharpen our critical thinking. Don't let emotions cloud reason. Ask again, what is the basis of my belief in this? Do I have concrete proof, or am I just following the crowd? What if all this was deliberately created to manufacture a sellable drama? Who is actually benefiting from this issue's spread? And am I being empowered by this information, or being exploited by a larger system? We do not intend to deny fans' personal beliefs, nor erase the emotional value built over years between artists and their supporters, but we do feel responsible to stress that emotion must not replace logic, and hope must not replace verification. That in this increasingly complex information age, being a smart fan means filtering information objectively, even regarding the things we wish to be true.